Hi. You can always tell when I'm banished. I'm either in the dark or I'm in the basement. I really don't have a place of my own anymore, and that's okay. It's okay. You know what? It's not forever. It's just for now. It's just for now. If I repeat myself, I'm so sorry, but I can't get those videos loaded, so some of them are loading, and now I don't know what I put in them. I just don't know what I put in them. So I could be getting senile. I could just be repeating myself, as my daughter says. And it's the way she says it. She says she doesn't like when my mom would repeat things to me. Don't get me wrong. I love my daughter. She really is a good. She's got a good heart. She's, shame on me for not choosing wisely the father of my children. And I'm just going to put that out there just like that. Shame on me for not choosing wisely. We're young, we're foolish, we're in the moment. We don't think long term. We don't look at their family history. And that has so much to do with who your children are. I cannot tell you. You may not believe this, and that is okay. So when I always say that, it's okay. But throughout the Bible, God talks about generational curses and generational blessings, right? Okay. If you marry someone who has a family history of generational curses, they carry on to your children, okay? I will say, I come from my mother and her mother, and that side had blessings, okay? But I've been married twice. My first husband, who's the father of my children, I believe it's maternal, on a maternal side, and curses, generational curses, have been carried, somewhat to my children. And I battle it all the time. But when I was young, I didn't have the tools. I didn't know. So I fought back the wrong way, because they were so, they just saw things different than I do. I was just raised so differently, and then they were trying to, I believe what I believe. I believe you respect your parents. You listen to your parents. You may not always, understand or agree or like what they say, but you have to know what they do is for your best. Well, I love her, but again, my children carry that curse. Not that it's bad. Not that. Thank goodness they got me in there too. But I will say, I have 70 nieces and nephews. That's a lot. Nothing. Wonderful. All of them blessed. All of them beautiful. Blessed. Maybe little bitty things, but nothing big, nothing major, And so I didn't ever think my kids, never. And I will tell you, I'm the peacemaker of my family. I'm the baby, right? But I'm the peacemaker, and I always have been. I always have been. And so I didn't know how to fight, I came from a very calm, again, I just loved everybody. And then I married someone who, when you're young, you think you're going to change them or they'll grow out of it. No, you marry who you marry, okay, that's who they are. Years down the road, the change will come, hopefully. But what damage is done before that change is made, I had to make an executive decision. After marrying him twice, I tried, trust me on this, twice married the same man. Can you believe it? I did it. But you know what? I came from that. I wanted my children, I wanted them to know their dad. And I tried. I hung in there, tried. No change, though. No change, So is he a bad guy? No, he's not a bad guy. He's just a bad father. Okay, he's a bad father. He's not a strong father, and I just couldn't stand it. But you don't realize the damage that's carried through to your children with all that. I did not come from a broken home, but I can tell you, I know I know what it's done to my children, and so I, as their mother who loves them more than anything in the world, of course I try to make up for that, try to make up for that. Wrong, you can never make up for that, okay? Doesn't matter how much you give them, how much you don't give them, what you do. You can't spoil them trying to make up for the loss in their life, because those two together are just bad combinations. They're just bad all the way around, It's learning how to deal with it in a right way, not a destructive way. I wish I had the tools. I so wish I had the tools, then what I had now. I mean, I had pretty good tools then. I did. I've always had good tools, but I mean, not these divine, not from God, I mean, you always think God's there. He's always got you. You do, and especially when you're younger. You just take him for granted. He's there to teach you. And if I would have listened, okay, instead of just knowing that, he had me and, he had me covered, I would have listened to him. I would have learned, and then I wouldn't have been putting Humpty Dumpty back together again all the time. It's not always like that, but there are points, in the year that you know something is coming, and it's when can you go through those without those happening, When do you get through that? When is that smooth? For Christians, you don't really ever have smooth, because the enemy's always after you, and then when you do, and like I said, the open doors, but he gets to you through your children's open doors, right? Well, my daughter anyway, I love her, but she will say, instead of saying like, my mom, come on, I heard the same stories, I don't know, 1,000 times. Do you think one time I ever said, Mom, stop, I already heard it. Mom, stop, I already heard it. Never. You sit and you listen to that story again, okay? And again, and again, and again, It's what you do. That's what you do. I don't, and for my daughter not to automatically have that in her, it bothers me. It really bothers me. So she will say, I'll start saying something, she'll say, Mom, stop, Mom, you're getting senile. I've already heard that. You just told me that. Don't you remember? And I'm like, oh, I did? I'm sorry, And then I say, well, you know what? I'm going to say it again. So here it comes again. Now I'm going to say it again. And when I say these things, you know what you do? You just listen. Like it's your very first time hearing them. I don't know why they're so different. She's my mini-me. She looks just like me. She's kind. She's loving. And she does. My children individually, okay, are like that. But together, together, no, I'm telling you, it's bam, and it's as I get older, it just gets, because one doesn't see like the other does, they age different. If I didn't know I was going to have 3 kids, I'd have them bam, bam, and bam. But all my children were 5 years apart, 4.5 to 5 years apart. That's 3 separate worlds. Think about it. You have a 4.5 or 5-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 15-year-old. What do they have in common? Nothing. They don't watch the same television shows. They don't eat the same kind of foods. They don't do the same. They're not in the place for their life where they enjoy the same things, the entertainment. They have 3 different televisions. Everything is separate. When you have children like that, at those different ages, everything is, their whole worlds are separate. Their whole worlds are separate. So now, my middle son who died, right? He just had that it factor. He was beautiful. Just always the most popular little boy in his class because he was so beautiful. I'm telling you, and you just were drawn to him. And he was good. Of course, we all loved him, but he was good. But he was stinky too. He was just a kid. He was just a kid. But he was 16 when he passed. But him and my daughter were just becoming friends. She was 21. He was 16. Okay, he had just passed that cusp. They loved each other, but they were just becoming friends, right? My youngest was 12. This is my problem. They both still are reeling from that loss. And it's been 8 years, and they're still reeling from that loss. And what I found out, what I noticed in this last go-around, each of them, their favorite sibling passed, okay? Their favorite sibling passed. You know, he was my daughter's favorite, and he was my son's favorite. And so that middle one, right, which brought all of them in, is not there. So now you have one over here, and you have one over here. It's closing that gap, right? It's closing that gap. And that has to come from the Lord. It has to come from God. It's a hard thing. They're 10 years apart. Hard, you know, but He's going to do it. He's going to do it. He worked a miracle yesterday. Prayer. While all this was going on, I was on the phone with my friend, my prayer warrior, who I'm going to give everybody his email address, and if you need prayer, you contact him. I mean, he's got a direct line, okay? We sat there and prayed for an hour, and oh boy, waiting there for that outcome, which wasn't supposed to come out the way it did. It could have the only way it could have ended as I was hoping for was if God Himself intervened and changed it, okay? And changed it. And He did. And it happened right before my very eyes. And He did. Every single thing that we sat there and prayed, I'm on speakerphone, you know, and prayed for, happened. Everything happened. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe it. It's always going to be His will. It's always going to be His way. And I can't tell you how important prayer is. I cannot tell you. Today, my day would be completely different. Completely different if I did not turn to Him at that moment. If at that moment I wouldn't have got that phone call from my brother in Christ, you know, and if at that moment we didn't stop and do what we did, I will tell you, everything we put before the throne of God, and then we went to the throne of God, okay? I mean, we went there. I could feel, I had goosebumps through that whole thing. I was there in front of that throne of God. I'm laying face down with my arms out, my legs down. I mean, in the spirit, that's where I could just feel, you know, that's where I was. And this outcome could have only happened through divine intervention, and it did. And I thank God for it. Thank you, Jesus. So prayer is, I can't even tell you. And I thank you, my mighty prayer warrior, my mighty, mighty prayer warrior. Thank you so much. You know, I just received this most wonderful blessing from one of my sisters in Christ out there. And you know who you are. And how do I thank you? I mean, I can't even talk about it without even crying, you know. So, you know, it works both ways. You know, it works both ways. And it goes to show you God's watching everything. He watches everything. He knows everything, you know. And I mean, it was just such a good day and good everything going, you know. And I saw the minute it changed. I saw the minute the enemy got a foothold right where I'm sitting. You know, I saw it with my own eyes. I saw a big door. It wasn't through me, it's through them. I saw it. I knew it. But you know what? I had the tools. Okay? I had the tools. And I used them. I used the tools that he taught me. And that's what I'm trying to teach you. You know, you're going to need them. First of all, you need them every day in your everyday life, okay? What pulls people to God and what pulls people from God are the same thing, okay? It's the same thing. It's the same kind of crisis, the same kind of everything. He knows that too. He knows that too. People get frustrated when they don't hear from him right away. Because they think, you know, instant gratification. Again, it's that instant gratification. And then they think, well, he didn't hear me. He didn't do nothing for me, you know. Again, okay, what have you done for him? It's not that it's like that. We're his children, yes, but, okay, you got to give him a little something to work with, okay? You got to give him a little something to work with. Because you know what? It's just like us. We spoil, it's instant gratification. We're spoiling our kids rotten. You know, we don't make them wait for anything. We don't make them, you know, it's not going to come easy. Everything doesn't come easy. You know, they think it does. They think, you know, because they want it, it's there, you know. We did that. We did it. So, you know, God, he's not going to give you the toy at the checkout counter because you're crying over it, you know. And that's how you have to look at it. So, you got to come to him. You know, you've got to search for the heart of God. You've got to come to him. You've got to know him. Okay? That's what he wants. That's all he wants. But if you just pray whenever you need something, like right now, because we've all done it a gazillion times, and then he granted your prayer. I mean, he did it. Okay, well, that's the only time you're going to come to him because you think he's there for you, right? He's there for you. I mean, don't get me wrong. He will do it every once in a while because you see him do it. You know, he will do it. He will do it. He will do it when it's going to change his plan. He's going to step in and change whenever he's already has something set, right? And if it's going to cause any deviation from his plan for your life, then he will come in, yes, and change it. But if you're just praying for, you know, the things that we pray for and you want them to happen, or you think it's an emergency and you think you're going to die right now, you know, but you're not because you get up the next morning, that's when he's not going to come and do it, you know, because then you're just going to think, well, he did, you know, you're going to keep doing the same thing. What he's trying to make you learn, he's trying to make you learn the lesson, just like we teach our own children how to learn the lessons, you know. It's work, you know, but it's not work. It is relationship, okay? And you have to treat it with respect. Listen to his stories over and over and over and learn them and love them like he does, okay? He's no different, you know, than no different. But this was so unbelievable. You know, but I saw it coming. I saw it doing, but I went to him immediately. But I drew on my tools that he had taught me. Okay, and I knew what I had to do in order. You know, your reaction is everything. Okay, your reaction to situations are everything. You wonder how things can get like instantly better, instantly worse. Because it's your action, okay? Are you going to open up another door on top of that, okay? So then you got them all in there. So, you know, it's very crucial that you handle it, you know, as Jesus would handle it, as he's trying to teach you how to handle it. People just are not aware of what is out there. They're not aware of the spiritual fight. Stronghold. And they're just not aware of it. And that's how things escalate. You wonder, well, how you get into things, why this is happening. I'm trying to tell you why it continues to happen, okay? There's open doors. It could be like this, or it could be like this, or it could be like this. you know, but that situation, I could have, but you know, I didn't. I mean, I feel, personally, I feel like I battled Satan head on, you know, it was strong. But, I don't know, it was, you know, I had just had this wonderful blessing, and thank you for that, you know, wonderful blessing, and just sat and cried over it, you know, cried over it, but, and then that, if you know, we can't go back. You can't go back and change the past. Can't let the past ruin your tomorrows either, right? You can't. What you can do is you can learn, though. You can learn how to not go, you know, walk back to the past, you know, and what you didn't have then, you could have now, you know, but you have to be aware of how your past, you know, has brought you here. You know, like I said, shame on me for not understanding God's foundation. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not talking about belief system. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about His organization, His foundations up there, how his courts go. I mean, because He has courts, you know, how all that goes. I didn't know. I mean, now older, yes, but when I was younger, when I needed it, okay, when I was making those major decisions in my life, that's when I was totally unaware of them, right? And that's when I needed them. So, I think, use them. And if you have that in your life, you know, and if you have children, of course we love them, you know, but it's like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Are you kidding me? You know, you can't do it. You can't do it. But you pray about it. I'm watching right now. I will tell you, and I have been watching. I'm watching what He's doing to my daughter, bit by bit. But I'm watching Him. I'm watching this change in her. I wish I would have filmed it. You know, I really wish I would have filmed it. This changes in her. And like I said, she's wonderful. She really is. But the loss devastated her, you know, and she's kind of self-preserved a little bit, you know, self-preserved. You know, there's got to be a rhyme and a reason for everything. Well, there is, but, and you know, when you're young, you don't want to face what you fear, you know. And so I will tell you, though, the other night, I finally told her, just as it was, you know, what was coming, what it was about, what all this, you know, why all this was happening, you know, and how she was adding to it by what comes out of her mouth and her actions and all that. You know, I finally sat down and said, you know, you got to stop here. You got to know what you're releasing out here. You know, it just keeps coming over and over. You know, probably because she's pregnant too. You know, I said, bro, now you got to watch everything, spiritually wise. You know, in that spiritual realm, she got it. So praise God for that. She really did. She got it. I love her, and I know it's a scary thing. I mean, come on, she's, you know, she doesn't know what heaven's like. She does not know what heaven's like. Heaven is so wonderful, okay? You will have a life there. I'm telling you, you will have a life there, okay? You will have your grandkids over for, you know, dinner, your family, you will sit at your table. I mean, it really is wonderful. It's not some, ooh, place. It's not. Earth was made from the immense that. Look at this. It doesn't make sense. Use your common sense. Okay? Now, I'm just overwhelmed right now. You know, I'm just really overwhelmed. And I know that everybody is feeling this spirit upon them of the Lord. I mean, strong strong. It's like it's just going to burst right out of you, right? Just going to, boom, burst right out of you. You know, you're walking into the holidays and you got to do small talk, and you really don't, because all you want to talk about is, you know, did you know Jesus is coming? I told the dog, I go, you know Jesus is coming, don't you? I'm really hoping you'll be good, you know, because I can't, because you know he's nuts. So I just can't wait. I go, I just can't wait till I meet you when you're just, you know, you're a normal dog. I'm so excited about that. But don't, when you walk into these days ahead, okay, again, prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. Know what you're walking into. And it's going to be hard because, see, it's the small talk doesn't interest us. Nothing that they talk about, nothing that they're excited about, are we excited about. We're not. We're just not, because we're different now. We changed. And now we've really changed because he's divided us. You understand? You can see that, don't you? He's really made a division between us, okay? And he's sealed us now. He's sealed us. There's no going back now, okay? He's sealed us. So our spirits are infusing. You know, it's okay. I said this before. Our spirits know that the Holy Spirit, the Holy of Holy Spirits, is right there. It's leaping for it. You know, it wants to go home because that's where it's from. It knows what's there. It knows what it's been missing. It knows what's coming. And it's the excitement in our spirits. It's just, you know, it just can't wait. It wants to jump ahead of us, you know. And that's what it is. And also, he has changed our hearts, our everything. And we're not looking at anything in this world. We're not looking at anything worldly. It gives us no pleasure whatsoever. You're not alone. You're not alone at all, so please do not feel that you are. You know, if you get in this situation, you know, this coming days, you know, just stop. Go and talk to him. He'll take care of you. You know, he'll take care of you. He will. But don't think you're alone. And it's because he's close. Because he's very close. And people, you know, your spirit, you might get rubbed the wrong way, because he's perfecting you. You know, we live in a world. I mean, we are far from perfect. Okay, we are far from perfect. We live in a world of imperfection. All right, we live in a world of evil. Okay, which our spirit is changing us. We're changing, right? We rebuke evil, okay? But yet we're standing in the midst of it. That's really hard to do. It's very hard to do, okay? You understand the turmoil that you're going through? Lots of turmoil. It's not what we know. We feel foreign. We feel alien. We don't belong here anymore because of that change is being made in us. And we're strengthening him, and he's getting us ready for heaven. You understand that? He's getting us ready for heaven. So things of this earth, they don't interest us. There's no pleasure. There's no beauty, you know, here any longer for us. And that goes with our family and our friends. You know, what they get excited over, we could care less. And that kind of hurts their feelings, I'm sure. And it's kind of boring for us. You know, everything that they love or want to do is kind of boring for us right now because we are aware. I'm sinking in here. We are aware. And how can you get excited about anything else except Jesus coming? I mean, they just don't get it, but we get it. And that's why we have to stay close together, okay? That's why you have to have Christian friends. You have to have somebody you can talk to, somebody you can share with. And if you're feeling all of these, and then sometimes you're going to be like, I know this is all just for nothing. He's not going to come. You know, you want to say that, right? You want to say, what about if I make a fool of myself? What about if I just make a fool of myself, you know, and I'm telling everybody this, and, you know, I'm ruining all my, you know, burning all my bridges and ruining all my relationships, and he don't come at all. Well, that's a chance we got to take, right? But I will tell you this, I've never felt like this. And every single person I talk to has never felt like this either. Okay? Never. I'm telling you, and he told me months ago in a message that was exactly what our spirit was doing, and that's why our spirits were like that. And now it's 1,000 times worse than that, which I didn't think it'd get worse than that, but now it is. Can't hardly sleep. Can't hardly sleep. And it's just hard. It's hard to work, because how can you get interested in anything that it's not about him? It's worldly. See, he's pulled us from the world, okay? He's pulled us from the world. We hold no interest. Nothing is appealing to us in that world. So now we have Christmas coming, which is all about the world, right? So now they don't understand why we can't get all excited and all that, and we don't even want to do it. We're all bah humbug. We're all Scrooges. See? I know everybody's going through it. Oh, I mean, pretty many people are going through it, and that's what it is, because he's changing you, okay? And I don't know about you, but my Jesus, my God, would not do that to us. We can't continue to feel this way ongoing. I mean, because it's like at the height. I think I'm just going to explode sometimes. No, he's not like that. He's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. He is preparing us. Do you understand? He is preparing us. Okay? He's preparing us. Okay? You're different. You're different. Don't be happy about that. Oh my gosh, be so happy about that. And when I say that, he says, say goodbye. Anytime he says anything like that, he means speak in kindness. Leave your words with them loving. It's not that you have to go, around and say, Jesus is coming, bye, 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 bye. No, he's saying when you see, run into people or talk to your family on the phone, and speak with kindness. Let all the blah go. Whatever was, hindering you, or if you had anything, let it go. Just let it all go. And just speak to them with love and kindness and compassion. So that's how they always remember you. That's you saying goodbye. Okay? It's not you have to go and say, well, I thought I got to say bye because, he's coming. He's not going to set you up like that. He knows. Trust me. He knows how things go here. He knows it, okay? He's not going to spank you for it. He's not going to spank you for it. He gets spankings when you're one of his, okay? And you've gotten the world, okay? And you're getting farther in the world, all right? But you love him, don't get me wrong, and that's the point, because you do know. I mean, you know something greater is ahead, but you keep turning left. That's when he's going to spank you, because he's got to get you back on the road. Okay, that's when the spankings come. Okay, but that's because he loves you. That's because he loves you. No other reason, because he loves you. So, I just, thank you guys. I get the most wonderful. You just can't imagine. Just can't even imagine the wonderful emails and little notes I get. Are you kidding me? This was not planned. This was not planned. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank Jesus, because I will tell you this. Every single thing that I talk about is from him. One last thing. I was in the car the other night. I was thinking of Humpty Dumpty, right? I was thinking, I'm Humpty Dumpty's wall. Everybody always comes to me, and I fix them up, and, it's all Humpty Dumpty. I find all Humpty's pieces, and I put them back, and I set them on my wall, and, well, then they're off, They get put back together, but I'm just Humpty Dumpty's wall, Then I started thinking about, but you know what? It's a good thing. It's a good thing, because the Lord sends whoever to sit on your wall. It's not you're being used. You're being used. You're being used by God. Okay? My daughter always says the saying. She'll say, oh, Mom, I saw something today. And she'll say, they were total Monet. She got it from a movie. We always do one-liner movies. That's our thing. But she goes, oh, total Monet, which means from far away, looks beautiful. Looks like a masterpiece. When you get close up, they're total mess. Okay, total mess. How many Monets are out there? You get cracks, get some tears, get some that crackling going on, and well, you have to think about, God is the painter, right? So he comes down, he touches little Monets up, right? Gives a little this, a little bit of that, you know, the edging, and restores them, right, where they need restoring. But let's say you're next to one, and you've got some tears. I mean, you got some major restoration that needs to be done. You got some tearing. Now, the one next to you, you don't see no tearing on that one. Their canvas looks pretty good. It's got a little bit of, you know, crackling going on here and there. But he goes to fill them first and to fix that one first. And it's like, hey, my canvas is worse. I got tears over here. What are you doing over there? You know, just spot painting them, you know. I need some major work. Well, that's why. The thing is, he got something special for you. There's somebody special that has to come in. Or he, you know, he has special restoration for you, okay? So it takes a little longer, okay? It's not a quick fix, okay? Some might have a quick fix, and it might work. But others, and most of us, I was not a quick fix, okay? He had to take his time repairing me. He had to take his time restoring me. My tears, my cracks. That's why many would get fixed before me, you know? Many things. And then I understood that. You know? He had to set special time for me. He had to put, you know, special care in it so I could be fixed, to be hung, you know, where he was going to hang me, you know? Whereas, you know, where the handling, you know, maybe was going to be more than a Monet that was, you know, placed somewhere else that had just little touch-ups, you know. Maybe they were going to be hung in a place that, you know, wasn't going to be handled a lot, or was it a place of that not much damage would come, or are they, you know what I'm trying to say? And so he took his time getting to me. He took his time restoring me because he had to do it right, because he knew where he was going to hang me, okay? He knew the visitors that was going to, you know, touch it, you know, touch my canvas, see my canvas. You know, he knew the atmosphere, you know, that he was going to hang my canvas on, right? So you have to remember that. Okay, and that goes for everybody, okay? So don't think he's just passed you up. That means he's going to take some time with you, okay? He's going to take some time with you. And that's how I look at things, you know? That's how I look at things. It's all been, I wouldn't give this up. I would not give what I have learned up. Nothing, you know? Not even a lifelong subscription of my Care Coffee. You know, no, I wouldn't do it. What he's taught me has been incredible, and you know, where my son is, oh my gosh, he is in the absolute best place. You know, just the best place. How can I cry over that anymore? How can I be upset? Because I know where he's at. I know he is. I know God has him. I know he does. God has told me that. You know, can't say a lot of parents have that. You can't, and that's what is what's so grieving. You don't have a receipt for that child, and that child's not with you. Where are they? You know. But I'm telling you, I searched for the heart of God because I needed him to tell me. You know, didn't happen overnight. Did not happen overnight. But it happened. Okay? It happened. And, you know, you have to walk, you have to talk the talk, and you have to walk the walk. But you can't go, you have to understand, and you know, the extremes of him. You have to understand him, that he knows. He knows everything. He knows, and he knows what it's like down here, okay? He knows this. You know, that's why I say he's coming to judge the heart. He knows what's in your heart. He knows what's in your heart. He knows, let's say, if you're in a situation, right? If you're in a situation and maybe you say something or you do something that is completely contrary, you know, opposite of who you are, right? And your heart hurts. Your heart hurts from it downstairs. He knows that, and he's going to see that. He knows that. He's looking to see that when you do that, is your heart feel anything? Is your heart just, you know, keep beating the same? You know, does it bother you? Is your heart hurting over that, what you just did? Did that bother you, you know? How did your heart handle it? That's what he's looking for, okay? The heart. I'm telling you, the heart. So if you have to go to Christmas this year, go to Christmas, you know? He's not gonna, he knows that, you know, and gosh, he's gonna have so much joy watching those little kids. So much joy watching those little kids. But it's understanding, you know, who the enemy is, what you're around. That's all. He's just trying to help you. He really is. He's trying to show you how to walk in the land of the giants when you're this big, okay? You know, remember that movie, that series? How to get through the land of the giants, you know? He's trying to teach you. He's trying to teach you, okay? But anyway, I will end this now. And that's just what I want to tell you, okay? And I want to tell you thank you. And you guys know who you are. Really, you know who you are. And I'm going to give you an email address. And if anybody wants some powerful prayer, I will tell you. It's our prayer warrior. He's our mighty, mighty prayer warrior. And he will take those prayers straight to the throne of God. I kid you not. He's our champion. He's the prayer champion is what he is. All right? I love you. Thank you very much. And I will I'll see you soon. All right.